Antony is officially back and available for Manchester United training and matchday selection. That's what we'll be discussing on today's video. But before we jump into that, please do smash a like and please do subscribe to the channel if you are new. So this is a massive, massive story that's come out in the last couple of minutes. It's been reported by everybody, but it's on the official Manchester United's website as well. So we will get straight on into that. So this is this statement on the Manchester United website in relation to Antony. It says the following. Since allegations were first made in June, Antony has cooperated with police inquiries in both Brazil and the UK, and he continues to do so. As Antony's employer, Manchester United has decided that he will resume training at Carrington and is now available for selection while police inquiries proceed. This will be kept under review pending further developments in the case. As a club, we condemn acts of violence and abuse. We recognise the importance of safeguarding all those involved in the situation and acknowledge the impact these allegations have on survivors of abuse. So he is officially back. He will be available for the matchday squad selection. That is massive, massive news. It's a massive boost for Manchester United. I know that a lot of you have really liked seeing Pellistri get game time on the wing, but obviously with Jadon Sancho not looking like he's going to come back anytime soon, we spent 100 million euros on Antony. Obviously, if he's done something wrong, then he should be held accountable for it. But from what we're hearing today, the fact that Manchester United are bringing him back into the team, I think that they must know more than what they're letting on. There must have been something that's brought out in the findings that have led them to do this. Samuel Luckhurst also confirming that he will join the Manchester United squad and get straight back to training and will be available to play as soon as next week. So he won't be involved in the game against Crystal Palace tomorrow, which is kind of obvious. Obviously, he's only just come back to the UK from being over in Brazil for the last 2 or 3 weeks to try and sort out any issues over there. But he will be available for the games next week. Obviously, we've got 2 huge games next week. We've got Galatasaray in the Champions League on Tuesday, and then we've got Brentford in the Premier League on, I believe it's on Saturday. So that is massive, massive news. Let me know how you feel about this one. I didn't think it would happen this quickly. I said on the video this morning that I thought it was going to be around, 2 or 3 months to get this situation sorted. But the fact that he's available immediately, I mean, it's crazy, isn't it? It really, really is. But he will be available. So Fabrizio Romano has also confirmed Antony is now back in training and available for selection, and then also quotes Manchester United's statement. We've got all of the big journalists. Laurie Whitwell says the following. He says, Antony will now resume training with Manchester United and is available for selection as police investigations continue. Too soon to bring him back for the Crystal Palace game though. Blah, blah, blah. This is massive for Manchester United. It really, really is. We spent over, 100 million euros we spent on Antony. It was a huge amount of money to spend on a player. I know that if, in the eyes of the law, if he's done something wrong, then he has to be held accountable for it. But for whatever reason, this story has come out today. Manchester United have confirmed that he will be back in the matchday squads, which I do think it's important. I do. I know people have liked seeing Pellistri. I know people were quite excited about seeing what's he called, Mason Mount on the right hand side. But I think that this is a massive, massive bit of news for Manchester United. But do let me know what you guys think about this one. Are you surprised? It's completely caught me off guard. It really, really has. I was sat downstairs. I was on Twitter. I had a look and I was like, this can't be real. This can't be real. But it is real, and he is back already. I mean, all I can say is, right, if I'm looking at this from an outside perspective, there must be something that's happened here that we don't know about, because the way that Mason Greenwood's situation was handled is the complete polar opposite of this. He was completely frozen out for a year? We heard nothing. He didn't train. He wasn't allowed anywhere near Carrington. This Antony allegation came out about 2 or 3 weeks ago, right? He's been off in Brazil. 2 or 3 weeks later, Manchester United are bringing him back into the team and saying he's available for selection. So there must be something going on behind the scenes that we don't know about. There must have been something that's come out in the case. Maybe Antony went to the police station yesterday, presented his side of the evidence, and Manchester United decided that it was, a sensible idea for him to be brought back, because I don't see how Manchester United could bring a player back like this if there was more to it than what's being led on. Obviously Mason Greenwood's going to be watching this situation closely. His lawyers will be watching this situation closely. And if they thought there was any sniff that he'd been handled differently, then I would imagine they'd probably press charges against Manchester United, wouldn't they? But it's been literally 2 or 3 weeks, hasn't it? We'll have to wait and see what happens. But the only thing I can say is that I imagine that something's happened involved in this investigation, which has allowed Manchester United to bring him back, because there's no way they would have done it otherwise. It's been 2 or 3 weeks. Mason Greenwood took a year and they still didn't bring him back. So there must be more to it. I do appreciate that the Mason Greenwood situation was way more in the public domain. Obviously, You know, there was those pictures, there was those videos that went up, which everybody saw. It was very, very difficult for people not to see that. Whereas with the Antony one, it was just somebody on Twitter saying, oh, he did this to me, he did that to me. It was a bit like he said, she said, wasn't it? There wasn't as damning evidence against him posted all over the internet. Whereas obviously with Mason Greenwood, whether you thought Mason was innocent or not, obviously I'm not going to get into that anymore because it's done, but it was pretty hard to turn a blind eye to what people heard and saw on those audio clips. Whereas this Antony situation, it did feel a little bit like one person accused him and then another did and then another did and then one of them dropped the allegations and then, do you know what I mean? It's all a bit of a mess and there must be something that's gone on here. But do let me know in the comments section, how much of a boost is this for Manchester United? Are you happy to have Antony back? He will be back in training immediately, apparently. So that might even be as soon as today. Obviously, Erik ten Hag speaks to the press at lunchtime and I'm sure will be asked about this situation. And Antony will be officially available to be part of the matchday squad from next week. As always, please do smash a like on the video on your way out. Please do subscribe to the channel if you are new. This has been Daily Red Devil. I've been Kieran and I'll catch you all later.